Are you stuck? Are you feeling stuck? Because a huge amount of my new clients and longtime clients, but more the new ones, are reporting that they feel totally stuck in their lives. And I want to kind of help everybody make some sense out of this feeling of being stuck. So let's see if we can do that today. When you feel stuck, or at least a lot of the people that I'm talking to, it's like nothing is working. People aren't responding the way they did in the past. Deals are delayed, relationships are delayed, things are not getting resolved one way or the other. It's just stuck. People are being more cautious. Um, People are delaying signing on the dotted line, all kinds of stuff. And to me, this stuckness is a reflection of the energy shift that we're all going through. Now, tomorrow I'm going to do tomorrow, November 1st, in case you watch this afterwards, but you still might want to tune into that live stream after the fact. Anyway, I'm doing a live stream on the Scorpio new moon tomorrow on my birthday. So the new moon will be conjuncting my sun. So I'm expecting some major rebirth energies, not only for me, but everybody I deal with. Because that's kind of the way things work in this weird fractal reality we have. So there's a paradigm shift, and we are in the middle of it. And when I went to grad school, I read Thomas Kuhn's The Structure of Scientific Revolutions. It's a little heavy, but it's a short book. I would recommend it to anybody who's interested in how paradigm shifts work. He talks a lot about medicine, how it went from the old school where you had the humors, and yeah, it was a whole different science of medicine back then. Oh, you're bleeding to death? Well, we'll bleed you. That's the joke version. But there was real medicine in that old system. And then it changed. And then he talks about how Newtonian physics morphed or changed, or there was a revolution to Einstein's model of the universe. And these things don't happen quickly. Paradigm shifts don't happen quickly because everybody's holding on to the old reality. Now, one thing I heard last night in a reading on YouTube, somebody was saying the light has already won the battle over the darkness. Now, I don't think there are really battles, at least not on the level I choose to exist at. These battles are a little bit irrelevant because it's all oneness anyway, but I won't go into that now. But anyway, if you think of it as that, I prefer to say it this way: we have already ascended. Now it's our job to catch up to the ascension that has already happened. We are in the energy of an ascended world. We are in 5D, for example, is one way to say it. But we are still holding on to the old world. And we are holding on to the old paradigms. That's why things are stuck. Because we have to make a paradigm shift. And that paradigm shift is an individual thing for each person. Yes, each person who makes a shift radiates that energy outward and it impacts the collective. But on the individual level, everybody has to make their own shift. So it's your job to wake up, and nobody can do it for you. And so, to that degree, until you do, and there are degrees of it and all of that, but when you're not making a certain shift, that's when the stuckness happens. And when the whole world isn't making the shift, that's when the stuckness happens for the world. Like, if you look at, for example, the American election right now, it's weird. I've never seen anything like it. Nobody really cared that much about primaries or the conventions. And then Biden handed over to Kamala. And it just doesn't have the coherent energy. It's kind of like a system is fading out. It's still there, right? We still, I guess, hopefully, are going to have an election. We still did have we had primaries and we had conventions, but it's kind of like you're tuning the radio, and it's kind of, you can hear the song, but it's fuzzing out as you leave that station, but you're not at the next station yet. So you're still hearing the old music. You're not at the next level. But so what's happening is that certain lids have been on our consciousness, certain glass ceilings or whatever. And one thing that has kept a lid on our ascension is the thought of crazy. If you have an NDE and you say you saw Jesus, people think you're crazy. If you saw a UFO, if you were abducted by aliens, people will label you as crazy. If you have strong intuitions that are accurate and you tell people, even if they're accurate, people will think you're kind of crazy. Anything supernatural that happens, a lot of people will go into fear, disbelief, and trying to use logic to prove that you were full of shit. And that's cool. That's where they are. I have given up on trying to convince anybody because it's not about that. But when people start waking up, what happens is they start worrying about being crazy. You know how many people call me and say, okay, you're going to think I'm crazy. I'm like, not me. Now, some people are. And not that that is the correct term. But so when you feel stuck, because I could talk about this forever and I will in the future. Um, what's the first thing to do when you feel stuck? Well, if you know anything about the way I work, you won't be shocked to know that my recommendation for when you feel stuck, first recommendation, is to be more stuck. Feel it more. Choose stuckness. Feel what stuckness is and what it's resisting. What is your stuckness resisting? See, when you get into the stuckness, you can feel why it's there, what it's doing, and you can work on it better. But when you just try to fight stuckness, you don't really get anywhere. Not right away, at least. Um, just relax the body and surrender and say, okay, I'm stuck. Like, on a certain level, giving up, and I don't mean the other type of giving up because that's not giving up. I'm talking about surrender. Surrender to I'm stuck. Okay, I'm totally stuck. I accept that. That's one of the human conditions in reality, being stuck. Okay, so be stuck. Feel what it is. Feel what your stuckness is resisting. Don't try to figure out what your stuckness is resisting. That's different. Feel what your stuckness is resisting. And then just relax. Okay? Now, you might say, well, I still feel stuck. Yeah, I didn't say you're not gonna. I said, when you stay stuck on purpose, you're going to start getting the information that will help you go to the next step. But don't try to skip over the stuckness step. So realize if you feel stuck, you are totally not alone. Most people on a spiritual path, and probably most people that never even thought of a spiritual path, they're also stuck. The whole world is stuck to a certain degree because we are in an old paradigm that energetically is already dead. And so there's no energy to the paradigm. It's dead. But we're not in the new paradigm. So we're out there in the fringes of that radio dial where we turn the channel and we can hear the old music. Some people are kind of getting a glimmer of the new music, but the reference point is the old music. And so this is a process that I think will start to dramatically change tomorrow, November 1st, 2024. Mark it on your calendar and look back a year from now and say, did things really start to change with that Scorpio new moon? Anyway, that's my prediction. And tomorrow at 6 a.m., I'm going to be doing a new moon um, meditation, talk, live stream. So if you're up that early on the West Coast, or it'd be 9 on the East Coast, send in some questions in the live stream, in the chat. I'm not counting on most people attending live, but the new moon happens for me at 5:47 a.m. So I'll probably even start the live stream slightly early. But something in me just told me, I need to do this kind of while it's happening. So that's what I'm going to do. And I hope you join me. But if you're feeling stuck, feel it more. Feel the intention behind the stuckness. Realize on some level you are doing it. It's not some horrible thing happening to you as the victim. Some part of you is doing stuckness. Some part of you is resisting the next reality. Some part of you wants to be in control, and it ain't going to happen. But a new part of you that doesn't need control and knows how to surf reality in a freer way is going to be the antidote to your stuckness. So for now, be gentle on yourself and everybody else. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning as we inaugurate a whole new reality. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.